Welcome, hello, yes, and hi, hi. My name is Tai. Today's topic is about soul diving. Soul diving is how you use your empathic gifts in everyday life, but more important, how you exercise on your empathic gifts. And this is Soul Diving 2. You find another video, Soul Diving 1. If you didn't see it, check it out. It's also very interesting about that topic. But before I get into this, make sure to subscribe the channel so you are updated for the new videos. And also, yes, I am a student of the Order Dragon Rouge, but I'm not a speaker. So if you got any questions there, please write there, ask there for your question. So yeah, soul diving 2. Here we are. What is it about? Soul diving is how I name it. It is when your empathic gifts reach out of your body into another energy body, reading it. It is a skill you can have in a form of telepathic gifts. You can have it in a form of empathic gifts, or in clear hearing, for example. So it is basically an overall word I use for any contact into somebody else's energy body. And now imagine I work quite day and night on my gifts. So I also work during my daily time. At nighttime, it's mostly astral traveling. And at daytime, it's about empathic work. And I work in a call center since 5 years, about a little more, could be 6 already. I'm not sure. And there are many people who think, yeah, call center, I can do too. I invite you to do. If you survive 2 years, I congratulate and send you a chocolate. Because this is really no job you can do just like that. Because the impact of a customer can be mind-blowing. I just say mind-blowing. Because remember just this delivering delays we had during Corona time. And everyone was like, I will die if I don't get my bikini right in time before holiday. Yeah, you will die if your delivery don't reach you. For something you maybe have 5 in your cabinet still. However, and you have to stay polite. And you may not bark at them. And on the other side, they think they are hidden because you cannot see their face. It's not eye to eye. They are only writing an email, so they consider you to not to reach them, so they can do whatever they want, they think. Because we all also were framed of being polite to the customers, being friendly, um, staying calm, even though if they rage. And so it's a really hard of self-control if you get somebody who is raging like a bro at the other side of the phone. So if someone thinks it's an easy job, I invite you to do it. Just make it 2 years and let me know. Send me a proof when you get a chocolate. However, I, on the other side, love my job. So why do I do? It's very simple. There is a point named voice magic. That's when you are working with your voice. When you play with the sound levels up and down. with a tune, if you're getting more sound, more silent, more calm, more relaxed, or if you just say, okay, now it's enough, like this, yeah, you hear it. And you also work on your sound body, so you can sit there on the phone like that, and you have a power like nothing. But if you make sure your sushumna is right up, so you have a straight back and you're talking, then it is like that. Your voice has no centimeter to appear weak. So you have a stable voice, and on the other side you have the possibility to get very, very soft at the same moment. So you can calm down somebody at the other side. So that's just techniques, you know? That's magic. That's simply techniques. Um, and if you get somebody on the emails, you cannot work with your voice, that's right. But you can work with your words. While this is limited because you may not be aggressive or something like this, but you can play a little bit in your frame about this words. So if you just say, no, I cannot give examples, that wouldn't work, but you have a certain frame of how you can answer to an email. So, and people think they are hidden, and so yeah, they think they can write in capital letters, in colorful, in fat writing, in emoji adding. I don't know what a spit or angry emoji has to say in a business email. This only shows me that someone is totally uncontrolled and not able to use words. But however, um, and now they meet me. I feel them. I read a note. I read an email, and I can tell you exactly what is in this person, what is going on. And so it can happen that I write an email back and there is just one half sentence in the email. But this half sentence is that on the point that the other one is writing back an email. Sorry, I didn't want to blame you on this. I just mean blah, 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 blah. And this is because I did sense this one. And I did found the pain point where it was. And onto this pain point, I did push my finger. I can do, but mostly I'm not interested to do it because on the other side, the job, the most people are not that bad. They just want to run their business. They want their problem solved, and they can behave. Just sometimes people are stupid. At telephone, I really like it. If you are at the phone and somebody is calling you, you not only get the words the one is telling, you get the voice, you get the vibration in between. So you basically can read the energy that unfolds through the voice of the other one. And this is when magic happens. You really can dig into this energy. And I like if this is not a trouble person, but trouble persons you get on the same way. But let's say it is somebody who just wants to buy something. And let's say it was just needs a dress for a wedding. And unfortunately, it's sold out, but the wedding is in 2 weeks. So As a guest, she needs a dress. So you get to the website and you check what there is. And just by sensing this person, in addition to the colors or maybe style she gives, you scroll the timeline and you can the shop line, and you can say, okay, let's check this or this. And I bet you 90%, if I send this to the customer, it is not returnable because I really fit the taste of this person. If you have somebody who is enraged, what can happen if they didn't pay their bill or if they just forgot about paying their bill and now they got a letter and it says, congratulations, now you pay €1.50 more because your payment is in delay. And so they call, I never forgot about thing paying. So, and then you check it and you say, okay, but there was an order, datum blah, 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 and there is nothing in a balance which was paid. And so you explain it. And just by using the voice, you slowly, yeah, I guess this is a word, you slowly penetrate their energy body. And you are not aggressive. You just lay your hands onto the shoulders and say, okay, calm down. Not by words, by energy. And you just say, calm down, think about. And suddenly the other one starts to listen to you. And very often then there is like, oh, maybe I was on holiday and yes, there was a package coming, but when I was back from holiday, I totally forgot to send this payment. And now it's now I got this letter and I was totally enraged when I got this letter. This never happens to me. And then you again get calm. You again get silent and just say, okay, no problem, we can sort this. If you do the payment now, I just make a note so there is no next letter coming because the computer cannot know if you have done or not. So if there is nothing in, he will make sure the letter is going out. So I make a note, you do it, and so everything is fine again. It's very, very often that people say, I'm so happy you didn't cry at me as well. I said, no, it's my job to help you further, but we can do it in a very calm tone of voice. And so people agree. And if I get those people again, it's very rare to pick up the same person again. But if they do, if they call and if they get me and if they get my name again, they suddenly recognize, oh, this lady I knew and she was cool. And this is what I like on my job. And the more difficult the customers are, the harder you have to work with your energy body, with your voice, with your wordings. So you are working magically during your paid work time. So yeah, I like my job. Also, you can use your energy body when you're working at a train. So away from a working place there. Um, if you are, for example, on a train, and if you see that I had one case, there was some of the card controllers, and this lady was very balanced, very silent, but I saw there was danger in the air. I could smell it. There were two guys, obviously no card, and she was standing there and was asking, and it was about booking the card via mobile phone, but they did not really make it somehow, and so they had to go out the next stage of the train, and it was like dangerous in the air. And I just stood up and I did extend my energy body and I just kept my eyes on them. To her, I looked, and you already see on my eyes. I looked at her, and she knew there is a kind of guard at the side. And I again looked to these guys, and they exactly knew I am watching them. And they had no other chance than leaving this train. It was not my decision they leave the train. It was not my decision to not to buy the cards, to not to be able to buy these cards, but it was my decision to not allow them to get into a kind of fighting, because they really were up to start a fight. And I thought, not today, guys. And it was just the energy body pressing them down the seats and signalizing them, you better don't start any trouble. And this is how you also can work with your energy body. You don't even need to tell a word. It's enough to extend your energy body and to give it a certain frequency to let the other one know what you mean. Of course, the eyes are an important tool to it, so better exercise on the eyes too. There was one thing more I wanted to put into daily life, what I wanted to explain. Oh, I found it. Um, Another thing of exercising your empathic gifts in daily life is basically in contact to those who are close to you, not especially your partner, but maybe your work colleagues, or maybe someone you know from social media. Um, I cannot speak in detail because this is a private thing, but I do help on that level too. It's a kind of energy work, a kind of coaching work, a kind of coaching and healing. And just as for an example, um, I did find out that just if you write, imagine writing as an energy work, as I did explain on the call center. If you write a message, for example, and somebody is troubling in daily life, and you just give an advice and you allow your inner spirit, or in my case, my musen, to interact and to involve into your own answers, um, it can happen that you get a kind of an energy link, and that the other one is even feeling you, sensing you. In that way, I did help some people to get a track on their own life, to sort them, to find a decision what to do next in their life without me explaining this. So you are talking about music, you are talking about meditation. This one is telling you about social problems in daily life, and but emotionally you get very, very, very close. And because you are writing and the other one is answering, and you are writing again and the other one is answering, it is like a ping pong of energy. And so you get a direct access to the energy. And then something happens, what I just did describe about working with demons. the energy bodies start to read from each other's. It's not easy to describe, but sometimes even a talking with a friend can be a healing. And even a healing in particular, because one, for example, he had back pain, a very hard back pain. And when I just was working with him by listening some music, I was able to connect to, and I was able to directly impact him. He was even feeling my hand on the back, like it was stroking from the back side of the spine down the back, and like my hands were lying on the shoulders or so. So that's not like sukubi workings, this copulative workings. It's more impact into the energy body, balancing. And if you have a fellow symbol, or if you have a fellow music listening, you can use this as a vehicle to make sure the contact is gripping. And if the other one allows to, you can indeed heal or help if it is your skill to do so. And moreover, you can exercise that. So this being said, for this evening, it is possible to practice your own skills even during daytime. And in most jobs, you also can practice your gifts because you are always speaking to people or are listening to people or get an eye contact to people. So you can use your empathic gifts in your daily life, and by using them, you can exercise on them. There are brothers. They are right. They think I should take a break now and then, that I am working day and night, and they are right. I will make another video as well about how to handle hypercreativity, because that's one point I think that's very interesting to many of you as well. If you're really that soaked by your entity, that impacted by your entity, that you are working all the day, and when you lay down to bed, you just further work. And or if you don't go for astral workings, you work all the day and you work half the night, and then the bell rings and you just slept 3 hours or so and getting into a full day of work again. So maybe I should share you how to keep up your power, and or better said, how I keep up my power and how I make sure to not collapse around this. Yeah, this for now. I thank you for your time and for listening, and we meet tomorrow.